Mr. President, I rise today in respect to SJ-Res 60, which, as I understand it, will be up for vote here fairly quickly. And I rise in opposition to SJ-Res 60. SJ-Res 60, in essence, says that we would not keep the commitment that we've made to sell or refurbish the F-16 jets to Turkey. I'm not here to tell you that Turkey is the best partner that we've had. Indeed, as formerly chairman and now ranking member of the Foreign Relations Committee, I deal and have to deal with them regularly on a lot of issues. They are an ally in NATO. NATO, as we all know, is the strongest political and military alliance that's ever been created on the planet, and Turkey is a member of that alliance. To be honest with you, and I tell them this face to face, they're not acting like a partner, they're not acting like an ally, and there are a long list of complaints that we have in that regard. This actually started with defense missiles that they wanted to buy, and we offered them the Patriot missiles, as we do to all of our NATO allies, and indeed, instead, they chose to purchase Russian S-400 missiles. At the same time, they had purchased, or were in the process of purchasing, 4 F-35 jets of ours, which everybody wants, understandably. But at the time that they bought the S-400s, I told them that they can't have S-400s in the same country as F-35s. If they're going to do business with Russia, so be it, but there's consequences for that. So as a result of that, I put a hold on the F-35s, and I was followed by the other 3 corners, and that hold was successful, and the F-35s have not been transferred to Turkey. And that was the fight we had with them over the S-400s. We've made them a number of reasonable offers to try to resolve this, but they have not accepted any of those offers, and the result of that is they still got the S-400s, and we still got the 4 F-35s, which are going to stay here until the S-400s leave the country. The next thing that happened was they came to us and said, well, their F-16s were aging, they needed to be refurbished, and they needed a number of new F-16s. About that time, they decided to put a hold on Sweden and Finland entering NATO. And as we all know, Finland and Sweden really wanted to enter NATO shortly after the invasion of Ukraine by Russia. And everybody in NATO agreed with that, with the exception of Turkey and Hungary. Both used the accession to NATO by those 2 countries as a way to use leverage against other countries within NATO on some parochial disputes that they have. That's not the way you do business as an ally. When you're allied, yes, you will always have issues that you have to deal with other allied countries, but you don't use the security of the whole. You don't use the good of the whole as a bargaining chip to try to get a leg up on those. So the result of that was, for a long time, Turkey held up the accession of those 2 countries into NATO. As a result of that, I held up the F-16 purchases that they wanted to make. Negotiations went on for a long time. We were made promise after promise. The promises were broken. But finally, they did roll over earlier this year, late last year, and allowed the accession of both Sweden and Finland. The result of that was that we agreed that we would do what they wanted to do with the F-16s. This particular resolution, SJ-Res 60, really undoes that agreement, and I can fully understand senators, being upset with Turkey for this and a long list of other complaints that we have. But a deal's a deal. And we made this agreement, and they kept their side of the bargain, admittedly not very timely, but they did keep their side of the bargain. And now Finland is in, and Sweden is about to come in. And so that will be the state of play. I'd urge a no vote on this simply because it's imperative on the United States when we give our word on something that we keep our word. And so that's where we are. Having said that, I've urged Turkey on a number of occasions to examine their conscience and really think about what their commitment means to NATO. That commitment to NATO, all the rest of us have, is very, very strong, and Turkey and Hungary have not been behaving the way the rest of us in the coalition behave. One of the most troubling things to me is both of them hold hands with Putin under the table. And that is a very, very bad state of affairs as far as what's going on in Europe, as far as NATO's relationship with Russia, and just the overall situation. So although we have a lot of things to complain about with Turkey, on this particular occasion, I'm going to urge that we defeat S.J. 60 and actually keep the agreement that we made regarding the F-16s. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the floor.